This is The Way I Get It, Episode 3. How Religion is the Intellectual Cancer of Humanity. To start this off, I'll say once again that I'm largely invested into history, philosophy, linguistics, and whatever, and all my conclusions come from reading deep into all these subjects. One of these conclusions is religion in all its forms and all its negative or positive perceptions is ultimately degrading, pointless, and to get more cartoony, I'd say it's flat out evil. And I don't use the word evil as something referring to demons and crap. I'm using the word evil to refer to something which causes massive backrolls, destructive turbulences, and significant delays in the intellectual development of mankind, and religion certainly does that. And I'm not going to point out all the stuff that's become mainstream knowledge for the average-minded person, like the Crusades or witch hunts and whatever. Instead, I'm going to focus on what we have nowadays, which is basically the absolute same thing, but with better weapons. Religion still exists, discrimination bred by religion still exists, and religious persecutions still very much exist. And I can't help but wonder, how on earth is that possible? I mean, haven't we had enough? Haven't we learned our lesson? How is it that our species went all the way through, let's say, ancient Egypt and Greece and Rome and Renaissance Europe, and religion has still not been discarded as something that is ultimately harmful to society? I'm giving you my very own answer right now. All religion claims that it created us. Every fucking sacred text you read tells you about how something greater than us created us. And we should be thankful to that all-powerful and all-knowing son of a bitch. But here's what I claim. It is exactly the opposite. We created religion, we invented every single myth there is, and it's all our fault. I mean, why does there have to be something greater than us? Why is that always the case? How is that the only option? Why the fuck is it embedded in our nature to feel and act inferior to something or someone else? Are we humans that pathetic? Here's the big secret of religion. There is nothing greater than ourselves. Nothing up there created us willingly and consciously. And claiming this, I exclude all the alien theory crap, since I don't think it has much to do with plain religion. Here's the solution. We do not have to feel inferior. We do not have to be thankful and obedient towards something that created us, because nothing created us. The universe is just one big accidental chemical reaction, and we're the side effect of it. Which is not a bad thing, it's actually amazing, because that way we don't owe anything to anyone and we can finally start acting on our own. I know this is just the way our nature works, having to be inferior and ruled by something bigger. I know this all comes from our fear of death, but until we humans realize collectively that we ourselves are greater than anything, we will never be able to break free from this never-ending cycle of countries and empires and civilizations rising and falling, and eternal trifles within our own kind will never cease. Only when humans realize on a massive scale that there is nothing in the known world standing above us, then we will finally leave all past history behind to rest in peace, and will start our first real steps into the future. A collective mindset and action without any forms of religion and imposing of superficial inferiority will finally blend reality and sci-fi into one. I'll give you one example. Imagine what little percent of human population focuses on research of interstellar travel. What's that gonna be like? I don't know, 2, 3, 5% of the planet's population? And consider the speed at which knowledge in this sphere improves. Now consider what the speed of it would be if like 70 or 80 or 90% of the people on Earth were working on it. Nothing would stop us if we but started thinking collectively and without the bias and distraction of religion. And if you think about it, religion works in the same way. It uses the power of a collective mindset, but its purpose is one of subordination and not of creativity and advancement. So instead of believing in some all-powerful and wise old asshole, or in some crucified nutjob, or in a fat idiot, let us start believing in ourselves. Let us be the gods for once. Let us create all. For Holy Retardation, this is Chris.